Hey, Memo. Give me a beer, fool. So whatever happened to our podcast?
What are you talking about?
I mean, I can't even remember the last time we did one.
Yeah, it's been a minute since we did one, man.
Was the world still ending?
No.
Was Tom Brady still a Patriot? Was it before or after Kobe, Memo? Remind me. It's been so long.
We haven't done a podcast since December of 2019.
Oh, shit. When life was good.
I know, 2019 was simpler times.
All right, well.
But yes, we haven't done a podcast since then. I know the 10 of y'all have missed us. But, with all the crazy shit that's been going on in the world, I figured it's time to come up here and address it, especially since we have to be quarantined and can't leave our houses. So, right, if we're ever going to bring back the podcast, right now is the time to bring it back.
Let's fucking do it. Cheers, boys.
Cheers. So, a couple of things. We haven't done the podcast, like I said. The last episode we did was the end year awards. That was I think that was before Christmas.
Damn.
So, I know we said we were going to come back, but, a lot, like, life just happens, man, a lot, honestly, and, we did record between that time and now, but they just never made, they never surfaced online, like, I never uploaded them or anything like that. I never even edited them out or anything. They're on my old phone, like, I never even messed with them, so, realistically, I thought we were just gonna not do the podcast anymore. Like, I don't know why, like, slowly faded out. We're just like, oh, the podcast is done. And actually, our year anniversary was last week of the podcast, and I had something special planned. I was gonna bring a bunch of our old guests to come up here and do just one big group, one big podcast. But the coronavirus kind of fucked us up on that, because now nobody can really come over because we had to social distance ourselves from everything. So that's pretty much where we are. We're quarantined. We can't leave the house. And so I figured, fuck it. If we were ever going to do it, right now is the time to bring up the podcast. So we're just going to go over a couple of things that have happened since we've been gone. You mentioned a couple of them. The fact that, rest in peace, Kobe Bryant. Kobe Bryant is, passed away along with his daughter, Gigi. That happened in January. We are about to be in April.
What a way to start off the year. What was it first? Juice WRLD? Juice
WRLD was in December.
Was it in December?
And
so it was the first thing of the year, really. We're bringing in the new decade. Yeah. We have high hopes.
I was one of the people that was definitely like 2020, man. It's going to be a fresh start. It's going to be a good year.
Not so much of a fresh start, but it is exciting that, it is a whole brand new decade, Like,
that's what I mean,
The 2010s were the shit. But, now, like, the 2010s, I was a child, growing up, preteen, teenager, young adult. These upcoming years are the first couple years of my adult life. Mm-hmm. Memo's been 42 for a while. But, me, like, I just turned 24, like, this is the beginning of my life, my adult life. So I was pretty excited to see what, of course, we're not going to get into it, but everyone has their problems, like legal problems and whatnot. But, I was excited to jump into the new year, and I guess kind of like start over, a brand new start. And then we get hit with the death of Kobe Bryant and Gigi and, the other 7 passengers that were on that plane, which, it was devastating. And we didn't have a time to sit down and talk about it because we didn't do a podcast about it. But, we
definitely talked about doing a podcast. It just never came to fruition.
Yeah, it's been for, a good amount of months now.
I'm not going to lie. When Kobe Bryant passed away, it felt surreal. Like, it felt like it wasn't real, almost. Like, you didn't want to believe it, almost.
Oh, no. Legit, when I saw the news of not just Kobe, but his daughter Gigi also being in the helicopter with him, I did look into it a little bit because I was blown away. But there was so many people going back and forth, like, no one was in the car or in the helicopter with him. Oh, his whole family was in the helicopter with him.
There were a lot of conflicting reports.
They were saying just Gigi was in the helicopter with him. So I completely turned my phone off, put it away, left it charging, and just, focused on life and what was going on in the moment. And I didn't return back to my phone for another like 45 minutes, almost an hour later, to see the devastating news confirmed that not only was it Kobe Bryant, but it was his 13-year-old Gigi with him. That crushed me, dude. That fucking crushed me. It was nice to know that they went out together because, I mean, she looked up to Kobe, so she probably felt safe in those.
Yeah, I was gonna say there was comfort with them both being there.
And it's so sad. Just think about, those final moments, those final words that they probably said to each other. But at least she had her, her protector there with her when it happened.
Not only that, the Kobe and Gigi thing was sad, but along with the other families that were affected, it was a lot more than them. All the other families. I was looking at.
It's been months now. I mean, I could pull it up real quick. We could find out all the information about it, but I didn't even know we were going to talk about this, honestly. But since we haven't had a chance to talk about it, I just wanted to, say my condolences to his family.
Yes, of course. So just a shitty situation. It was a bad way to start 2020, to be honest. It left a bad taste in my mouth. Like I said, I didn't want to believe it. I thought, I was like, this is, fake news. Like, you know what I'm saying? And it happened on a Sunday, too. Like, you, wake up from, me, of course, going out. And then the next morning, I wake up and I see that. And it just fucked my whole day up. You know what I'm saying? And, I think that's where 2020 started kind of spiral down. Because then, literally, a month later, Pop Smoke was also killed. Yeah, which that one was surprising. That one came out of nowhere, too, because it's more like he was an upcoming star, you know what I'm saying?
He was finally becoming big. And, I mean, I'd been listening to Pop Smoke for a little bit, but he had just dropped Meet the Woo 2, which was going crazy.
Like a week before,
You heard Shake the Room. Mm-hmm. It was a week before. Shake the Room was going wild. They were doing the challenge on TikTok, and the song is being played everywhere. And I remember on Valentine's Day, I couldn't stop listening to it, and it was stuck in my head all
That is a weird song to listen to on Valentine's Day.
It is weird, but, I just remember, it came out, Valentine's Day was what, Thursday?
It was on a Friday.
Valentine's Day was on a Friday. It came out around, that Valentine's Day. Mm-hmm. Or it had already been out. But whatever. I remember, I couldn't stop listening to it. And then a few days after Valentine's Day, I find out. I wake up in the morning. So this is what's going on. I wake up at my girlfriend's house. I have to go to work in, an hour or so. So it's earlier in the morning. And I get up to take a shit. I get up to poop, like any normal person does. They get on Twitter. And I don't know about you, but literally I find out all my news from Twitter.
Same.
I don't have an app for news. I don't follow TMZ. Twitter, they're fast news reporters too. Yeah. You find out that shit quick. And I get on for first thing in the morning, and it says Pop Smoke has died at the age of 19 or whatever. And I'm just thinking, what the fuck? This is fake for real. Obviously it's not as big. He wasn't no Kobe, but this was my favorite rapper at the moment. Fresh off, literally just dropped Meet the Woo 2. I was obsessed. I couldn't stop listening to it. And then I see this, and I was like, what the fuck is going on in this world? That one doesn't surprise me too much because of, the type of person that he is with the gang activity and, you get what you put out in the world. And he did, he was a positive person as well, but he did talk a lot of smoke. I'm outside, all that. I'm the king of New York. It was sad to see that, it didn't happen in his city. It happened where the good white people live, it happened in Hollywood Hills type stuff. But, people, it was a shock to me, of course.
So we went from January was Kobe, and then February was Pop Smoke, and now we're in March.
And now somewhere in this whole ordeal,
and now it's
there was rumors about
everybody's being taken.
No, there was rumors about World War III and everyone getting drafted. I don't know if you remember this. That's what I'm saying. So much happened this year. There was rumors about
that was
remember there was all over Twitter. That was the craziest thing. I remember tweeting when you find out that felons can't get drafted, and it's like you dancing.
The craziest thing is that was 3 days into 2020. That World War III stuff. So
this happened early in the year.
Yeah, it was in.
I just remember it happening sometime this year.
And the crazy thing is that should have given us a sign of how bad 2020 was going to be.
North Korea said they had a present for us in the New Year's. Like, all this fucking bullshit happened.
But now we are in March, and
it is currently March 23rd. We are on
as of recording,
day 7 of quarantine.
Yeah, so now it's everybody's dying now. It's not just celebrities. Everybody's getting taken out because of this coronavirus, which
coronavirus is the biggest gangster of 2020. It wasn't whoever took out Pop. It's fucking coronavirus now.
And I wish we could come up here and talk about positive shit and be uplifting and make jokes.
I wish there was positive stuff about 2020.
But there's no positive shit going on, and it is the most depressing shit ever, man.
It sucks, man. So, I guess it started off in China. The China virus.
Yeah, according to Trump, it's the China virus, which is the most ignorant racist shit ever said.
No, it's not.
Come on, man. People were jumping Asians because of it. It is fuck. We're not gonna get into that, but
I mean, it did start in China. People call it the Spanish flu. Nobody ever said shit about. Nobody cares when they call it the Spanish flu, but when they start jumping Asians,
I was very offended at the Spanish flu.
Exactly. All right, so the coronavirus, COVID-19, is an infectious disease caused by newly discovered coronavirus. I'm trying to get some info on back where it started and whatnot. You can keep going.
Me and Jose are journalists, so we don't do any prepping for the podcast. We just kind of grab the beer and go.
This isn't. Please don't get any of your information from us. Please do not get your information. I am here to drink and talk about what the fuck is going on.
I heard the coronavirus started because people were eating bats. I don't know how true that is, but that's what I heard, is that people were out here eating bats, and that's where the coronavirus started. And hey, I saw a meme yesterday that was like Ozzy Osbourne was eating bats too, and nothing like that happened.
Yeah. So, according to statistics, the United States is now the third country in the world with the most
We've
cases.
Gotten that high that quick already?
Yeah.
Damn.
Obviously, there's China, which is the number one, and there was 81,171 confirmed cases. In China, there was 3,277 confirmed deaths. And then we have Italy, which there was 63,927 confirmed cases, and then there was 6,077 confirmed deaths. And now we have the United States, which is third on the list, which there's 46,376 cases in the United States with 585 confirmed deaths.
See, the deaths in the United States aren't too bad compared to the other numbers. It's still bad. It still sucks. It's still bad, but
there's not many people in front of us. There's China, there's Italy.
Well, okay, so
there's Iran, and there's Spain.
Well, my question is
and France, but we're still up there.
Do you think the United States is overreacting? Or do you think they are right in what they're doing? And by overreacting,
I think everybody in the beginning, including me, thought this was a joke and that we shouldn't worry about it and blah, blah, blah. And I'm not saying that it's not, it's not that big of a deal. But, people are dying. There's 16,553 confirmed deaths throughout the world. Mm. And this just started, a couple months ago. Mm. That's a lot of people around the world to be dying, And 381,520 confirmed cases.
Well, the reason
that's a lot of people the reason
I'm saying if people are overreacting is because they're not taking, there's either people that are not taking social distance seriously and are still going out and doing whatever,
and those are the dumbasses.
And then there's the group that's buying all the toilet paper, buying all the hand sanitizer, Like I feel like there's no middle ground. Like everyone's either overreacting or not or doesn't care enough. You know what I'm saying? And I do think that it should be taken seriously. You know, but then there are those people...
I mean, hygiene should always be taken
seriously. Exactly. Like when...
So I don't understand why people are just now becoming...
Yeah, like, oh, you gotta wash your hands. Like, if you weren't washing your hands before, you're disgusting.
Yeah, like...
You should always be washing your hands.
You know, like, I work in a restaurant, and right before our restaurant closed down, they said, oh, well, you know, make sure you wash your hands about every 10, 15 minutes, you know, blah, blah, blah. That's... I mean, technically, those are stuff you're supposed to do no matter what.
Yeah, like at my job...
If I touch something that's gross, if I pick something up off the floor, like something nasty...
Not even that.
You should wash your fucking hands.
Not even that. For me, at my job, I wash my hands every few orders I take because, I mean, I'm dealing with money, I'm handing people's food out, I'm cleaning tables and cleaning other things. So, of course, I'm like every few minutes or every few orders that I'm taking, I'm washing my hands.
It's not an inconvenience to wash your hands.
I don't have to be told... Hey, go wash your hands. Like that, if you have to be told to wash your hands, there's something wrong with you.
You need to grow up. Yeah.
But then there's also, like I said, the reason I'm saying people are reacting or not reacting. Then there's those people that say, "Oh, this only affects older people and children." You know what I'm saying?
Which is true. I mean, okay, it's not. It only affects them. Those are the ones that are dying. Yes, okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, we should take that as serious as well. Oh, I'm 20. I'm 21. I can't die. Why should I care? I'm gonna go out. Well, you don't understand that. Okay, I'm 21. I contract this virus. I talk to my other friend who's 23. Okay, who cares? He doesn't realize it. Now he's got it. And he goes over to his other friend's house, hangs out with them. Now, he might give it to someone that's 19 over there, but they might be living with someone who's 61. And now, out of nowhere, because this one person that's 21 that had it, went all the way down the line to someone that's 61 in a completely other side of the city. Mm-hmm. And now their life is at risk because of that. Yeah. That's why I'm saying that you should take it serious. I mean,
yeah, I don't know what it is.
When they say social distancing, like, you should not be, stuck inside all day and then, all right, well, I'm going over to my friend's house for a little bit. Or, oh, my friend's having, people over since we can't go out to the bars. Like, no, like, it's not that hard to stay inside for a little bit. And I'm guilty. Like, I've been jumping back and forth from my girlfriend's house to here, and whatnot. But, like, for about 3 days or so now, 3 nights, I've sat my ass at home. Because I realized, my dad's 50, my mom's 55, like, they're not, the best when it comes to their health.
Yeah,
they're not 100%.
Yeah.
They're not 100%, and I would not want to put any of them in risk. Sebastian, our good friend, brought his baby over the other day, which I mean I've been waiting to meet, but at the same time, the only thing I could think of is like, really, like, you're gonna bring a baby around like people you don't know where they've been, like, which everything's gonna be fine, but that's like one of the first things I thought. I was like, you don't know where Angel's been. Why are you handing it to Angel? Like, but it's just practicing little things like that. Preventing little things like that, and it's not airborne. You can't catch it in the air. So yeah, if you go to the grocery store, you might not catch it. But if you're close enough to someone that sneezes on you, or is coughing around you, like. Yeah, you should.
That was my biggest
try
thing.
To stay away from
that was my biggest thing. They were saying, "Oh, you got to practice social distancing," and yet everybody was going to the grocery stores trying to get toilet paper. I'm like, you are literally packing a grocery store full of fucking people, and any one of these people could be sick and then just contract it to other people.
But I mean, what are you supposed to do?
I mean, yeah, but that's why
people are gonna go. People are buying too many supplies. People are selfish,
bro. What
people
I did
in
not
this
understand,
world are selfish.
What I did not understand is that you can go and there'll be no toilet paper, there'll be no hand sanitizer, and yet the medicine aisle that has like cough medicine and fever medicine and all that stuff, perfectly fine. Like no one was there. Noticed. Yeah, and that's what when we went to go buy stuff, I was like, we need to buy flu medicine, we need to buy cough medicine. Dad's like, why? I'm like, what do you mean why? Like we don't. I mean, yeah, we need toilet paper, but like toilet paper is only part of the things that you need. You need to be able to get medicine.
People are being selfish just because they're like, oh, we need to stock up because they're scared of the government shutting us inside for a little bit, and they're grabbing way too much supplies that they don't need. Like that guy that bought fucking $17,000, dollars or whatever worth of supplies off Amazon, or was trying to sell it through Amazon, and they shut that down so fast.
Now you're just stuck with all this extra.
No,
shit.
they took it from him.
They
took it from him. They were like, you can't do this. Like, they shut that shit down so fast from him trying to sell it. And because he had way too much than he needed. He bought all that shit, all those supplies, and then he was trying to upsell them. Like, they straight up took them from him.
What I was going to mention earlier, about, like, you thinking you're 21 and you're invincible.
Mm-hmm.
You do have that mindset. A lot of young people do have the mindset where you don't think anything is going to happen.
That's why you were up in the club until the night that they shut it down. Memo's in the club.
Why you gonna expose me?
Memo's like J Balvin's album just came out.
Why you gonna expose me though?
He's like, I can't go to the club. I was like, there's a worldwide pandemic or whatever going on. And you're worried about not being able to go to damn Medusa or whatever? Like, fuck that, dude.
Why are you exposing me on my own podcast, man?
Memo likes to go to them Latin clubs because they shake ass everywhere. I told Memo not to catch a case, boy. That new Bad Bunny album came out. Memo don't know how to act now. Alright, but what were you saying? 21 and invincible?
Yeah, no, like, people do think that they're invincible. They don't think anything bad can happen to them because they're young, and they don't think, oh, I'm not going to die until I'm, 60, 70, 80 years old. Like, people don't think, like, And
it might be true. I mean, they're young, and they might not, like, they might just be a common cold a common flu that, they'll get over it after a while. But they don't think about those 60, 70, 50-year-olds that, even if they don't come in contact with themselves, whoever they're with and that comes in contact with them, and they bring it home to those people, like, are affected by it.
Yeah, stay your asses inside. Danny DeVito himself said to stay
inside. Danny
inside.
DeVito told us to stay inside. You motherfuckers better stay inside. I don't want you motherfuckers upsetting Danny DeVito. Apparently, hold on one second. But apparently, Louisiana has grown to, like, the highest, what am I trying to say?
Death rate?
Like, the most cases of the coronavirus so quick has happened in Louisiana. And I was telling Memo, I was like, it's because they wanted to be out on the fucking streets. They couldn't stay their ass home. They knew what was going on. They were still out on Bourbon Street.
Well, then what about that couple that got the coronavirus because they just had to go to Florida for spring break, and now they got the coronavirus, like...
Okay, so here is Danny DeVito begging us to stay home. Enjoy, everybody.
Hi, everybody. It's Danny DeVito, and I'm asking you from the bottom of my heart, all over the state of New York, stay home. I mean, everybody. I mean, we got this virus, this pandemic, and, young people can get it, and they can transmit it to old people. The next thing you know, I'm out of there. So Governor Cuomo asked me to ask you, please, do us a favor, all of us, and stay home, not spread this virus around. Thank you. Watch a little TV, why don't you?
Okay, so my question is, and I saw this today, so I'm glad we're doing the podcast, because I saw a thing that said Cardi B believes that the government is paying off celebrities to, like, pretty much, like, scare people into in the coronavirus, like saying that, oh, they got infected, or, oh, y'all need to stay home. Do you believe that?
I saw that, and it's, she brought up a good point. I'm not saying that's true, but she was like, and I've seen this, and I wondered the same thing. All these,
because when Tom Hanks had it, I was like, oh, no.
Basketball players are coming out and saying,
yeah, like,
like, hey, guys, like, they'll post a video, they look completely fine. Like, they literally have a PS4 controller in one hand, like, sweatpants.
Yeah,
like,
social
hey,
distancing.
guys, like, I tested positive for the coronavirus. I'm fine. I'm completely fine. Like, I don't show any symptoms, but I'm confirmed to have the coronavirus. And they're like, everybody just practice social distancing and stay away from everybody. Blah blah blah. And it is a little suspect, I guess. Like,
because when Tom Hanks had it, I was like, oh no, not Tom Hanks. You know what I'm saying? But then, like 2 days ago or yesterday, whatever it was, he's like, hey. we're cured, like we're fine now, whatever. So I'm like, what the hell? Like, that was fast, So, I don't know. That was definitely, I thought about that too when Cardi B said, I was like, man, like, they're like, the government probably wants us to stay inside. They're trying to plot on us.
But
They're
let's
doing
be
something.
real. Are we really taking Cardi B serious?
Maybe.
Come on, guys.
You never know, man. She could be speaking the truth, man.
Okay, so I pulled up the clip of her talking here.
Basketball players say like, yeah, I have the coronavirus, but I don't got no symptoms. And it's like, so how the fuck am I supposed to know when I'm supposed to like get tested for it? Y'all niggas is playing. Y'all niggas is playing with me. Y'all niggas is playing with me. Y'all niggas is playing with me. That's my problem right there. That's my problem right there. Cause y'all not really saying what it is. And it's like, all right, so tell me what it is and what it ain't. I'm starting to feel like y'all niggas is paying niggas to say that they got it. And if y'all are paying niggas to say that they got it, pay me too. Pay me too. Okay?
Fucking Cardi B, man.
Okay, so I guess on a little more serious note, I have a friend from my high school that I guess tested positive for the coronavirus. And she explains a little bit of her symptoms and like how it all started, blah, blah, blah. So I'll go ahead and read this real quick for you guys. Now, she doesn't state what city that she's in. So she might not still live in the DFW, Tarrant County. I don't believe she does. But it still talks about, how, what the symptoms are. So I'll go ahead. Hey everyone, just wanted to give you all a health update. This morning I received a call that I tested positive for COVID-19. While I was very anxious to share this after much deliberation, I wanted to raise awareness and help educate those who have questions and are curious or may be going through what I have this past week. I started out with a mix of wet and dry cough with a headache. As the days progressed, it gradually turned into constant headaches, nausea, digestive issues, body aches, fatigue, body sweats, fever, runny nose, shortness of breath, sinus pressure, and stomach pains. My symptoms have remained the same, but now have lost my sense of taste and smell. My intentions of sharing this is to raise awareness, and humbly I admit I underestimated the virus and never thought I would contract it. I'm 21 years old, I work out regularly, and live a healthy lifestyle. This was the last thing I thought I'd have. My mindset was always only older people and infants can get it, I'm fine. With all that being said, I encourage everyone to follow protocol, stay inside, and continue social distancing. As I reflect, I truly cannot pinpoint a setting I was in or a person I was near that exposed me to the virus. With that, I want to emphasize the importance of not dismissing or underestimating the impact of following protocol has. Going outside, hanging around other people, whether it is group or less than 10 people or not washing your hands and not social distancing, etc. You do more damage than you realize, and you don't know whether you are carrying or not. I know that these are anxiety-filled times. Stay calm, follow the medical and governmental guidelines given to us, and be considerate of others, and think of not only yourself during this time. Stay safe, stay inside, and be smart.
Damn, so yeah, like...
So that is... Sorry, I'm going through my stuff.
Put your pussy lips on live, I'll give you $1,000. Put your pussy lips on live.
At least we know Boosie's living his good life. Okay, so we went from a serious note to a little lighter note. He said, "Put your pussy lips on live. I'll give you $1,000." Okay? Always leave it up to Boosie to make you laugh.
Boosie is
in
definitely
a hard
helping
time.
us get through this quarantine. Man.
Oh yeah, he's inside on. I don't know if you noticed. He's inside on Instagram. He's done it forever. Like he's like, oh, like he's like he'll like. Someone would join
Titty
his
Friday.
Someone would join his live and he'll be like, "Show me your titties." Like he's like, "Show me that pussy." Like he's a creep. but people seem to love to do it with Boosie. And I was watching his live today, and I was like, what the fuck is going on? I was like, why does he have 30,000, 40,000 people following or watching? And I guess it's regular. But
he's been doing
there was
this
a
forever,
girl
though.
eating out another girl on his live.
He's been
And
doing
I was like, oh my God, Boosie is literally the king. And he was like, send the money. Send her money. He's like, fuck it, $50. He's like,
$50?
no, it started with like this girl was like showing her tits, and he was like $25, and then she showed her pussy or whatever, and then she got off live, and he was like, you know what, send that bitch $50, like, always leave it up to Boosie and make you laugh. But all right, back to what we were talking about.
That's horrible.
Before we were interrupted
Horrible
by
transition right there.
Before we were interrupted.
We are not professionals, ladies and gentlemen.
Before we were interrupted by Boosie.
Yeah.
It just goes to show, like, literally exactly what you were talking about.
Like I said, it can happen to anybody. And the thing,
and she might overcome and be fine. Like, she will be fine. She's young.
Yes.
She's
and
21.
That's what I was going to say.
She lives a healthy lifestyle.
From what I heard, you can have the coronavirus for 14 days and not show any symptoms. Mm-hmm. And by that time, you would have already passed it on to someone else. So, literally, all you can do is, if you can, I know some people still have to work, but if you can, stay inside. That is literally, guys, I mean, I love going out as much as the next person. Ask Jose. Okay? But like, this is literally, they're telling you, hey, guys, stay home. That's all you have to do is stay home. And imagine, 20, 25 years ago, we don't have the things that we have. Okay, a lot of us wouldn't have internet. A lot of us wouldn't have...
A lot of people can't work from home.
A lot of people wouldn't have Netflix, okay? So, there's so many things at our disposal now to make our lives
It's making it easier for us and
to stay home. Yes,
it's making it possible, and people still are not
listening.
People are still on the beaches of California.
I saw
and
this
Florida.
thing where in Texas you can get alcohol delivered to your house.
Yes, restaurants.
You know how convenient that is.
Restaurants, they're trying to help out the local restaurants and whatnot. Because like me, I am a server. And I temporarily lost my job because of the coronavirus. If anybody is out of work and are listening to this, warehouses. Amazon is hiring like crazy. I'm about to have an interview at Amazon. Grocery stores are obviously hiring. Gas stations are hiring. Especially 7-Elevens, racetracks, the ones that are open 24 hours. They need people. Those people do not have days off. Those people are still doing their thing. Plumbers, city workers, truck drivers. Like, please keep these people in keep these people in your prayers because they are still out there working. They don't get no days off. So, we think of this as time off, and we might not be getting paid, but we're living life. Like, those people probably want to be home with their families and are forced to still work. So,
and you guys might, and we didn't mean for this to turn into a whole like lecture or anything, but like, you guys don't realize the fact that you guys are staying out or like keep going out and acting like nothing is wrong. Like, it's going to get to the point where, I might be wrong, but it's going to get to the point where it's mandatory for everyone to stay inside.
I think that's where it's going to. So apparently, I don't know, and I don't have anybody in, the West Side that can confirm this. I don't know many people from over there. But apparently, LA is in a lockdown.
You are allowed to leave for the essentials, kind of like how Dallas is doing now. You're allowed to leave for the essentials. You can still leave to go, to the park and work out. You can still go to grocery stores, get gas station, get liquor, which I don't know how liquor is an essential, but you can leave to do these things, but you have to be home. You know what I'm saying?
So do they have a curfew?
That's what I was going to say. I don't know if places have curfews. I haven't looked into that.
Because when I think of lockdown, I think of quarantine inside your house. You cannot step out. National Guards are cruising the streets. Like,
that's more like martial law.
That is like what's happening in Italy.
I don't know if they will get to martial law. Like, I don't think.
Well, right now, I think we do have, a serious amount of deaths. But I think if it has to be. I think if we get up to Italy numbers, we are going to be quarantined, and we have to be at that point. Losing 6,000 people is pretty serious.
I saw a thing, a thread, and I wish I would have saved this person's tweet, but he pretty much had a thread, and it was like, day 1 or week 1, this was happening. Week 2, this is what happening. And they said the same thing. Like, we weren't taking it serious. We were still going out and doing this, blah, blah, blah. And now we're quarantined and can't leave the house. And what a lot of people were saying is our numbers are reflective of what Italy's numbers were, like, let's say a week ago. So we're following the same pattern that Italy was following.
Yeah, I mean, it happened to happen, right now during these times of spring break and whatnot. And, when
people still haven't been to school.
They're advising
people
us
haven't been to school in like 2-3 weeks. Mm-hmm. And like a lot of people probably won't return to school. You know what I'm saying? I know they were supposed to return to school, I think, this week or next week, something like that. And now, as far as like, the Keller ISD area where we live, they're not going back till after the 3rd, which is another week. So who knows how long this, like, pretty much as it's going on with us, it's pretty much like week by week, day by day is kind of like they're acting on like what's going on at the moment. You know what I'm saying? I don't think they have any plans like in place. You know what I'm saying? They just are going by what's going on week by week almost.
Yeah.
So.
But like I was saying, it happened to happen over spring break. So yeah, luckily schools were already out on break. They weren't allowed to go back. So, like our brother that's in high school was like, all right, 2 extra weeks off of school. Who knows when that's going to get lifted. But they still had 19,000 people partying on the beach of Florida for spring break. And these are the same people, like I watched the video and they're like, oh, I don't give a fuck. Like, we had this trip booked and, we had plans and we're not going to let this fucking coronavirus get in our way. Well, look at what you're doing now, motherfuckers. Like,
I'm not going to lie. I would probably be in that same mindset if I
Hell
no, hold on. Think about it.
My girlfriend had a trip to New York. She was supposed to leave today for her trip. She was supposed to be there for a week. And she's had this booked for a while. She's had the hotel and everything. And as soon as she found out, a week or 2 ago, she started calling and making moves and getting her money back and, getting...
Well, yeah, that's what a responsible adult would do. But if you're in college and you're in spring break, like a lot of these kids were, they're going to be like, fuck the coronavirus. I don't care what's canceled. I had this trip planned and blah, blah, blah. Like, we just talked about it. Like kids aren't taking it serious. They're invincible. You know what I'm saying? So they're not going to let the coronavirus ruin their plans.
Yeah, I'm just glad that we're Mexican and it doesn't affect us. I'm serious. Name one person. Exactly. It's true. When Mexicans don't get sick like this.
Sana colita de
we drink tequila. Like, it's a proven fact.
Yeah, I did.
Margaritas and it sounds ignorant, but I'm being serious. Like, we drink a lot of alcohol. It kills everything.
I did see a thing that said, like, tequila... like helps you live longer or some shit like that.
Yes, tequila is the only non-antidepressant alcohol that there is. So while all the other alcohols and liquors are actually hurting you and, making it, is worse for you and it is the depressant, it makes you, sad.
See, this is the kind of content they've been missing out on with us not recording, you know what I'm saying? Where else are you going to get this quality content? You know what I'm saying? While you're quarantined in your house, you can't leave. You have no choice but to listen to our podcast.
No cap. So, just to recap, everybody stay inside. Wash your hands. Use hand sanitizer when you can.
You almost said Hennessy. Use Hennessy.
Use that too. Use hand sanitizer when you don't have access to washing your hands, I guess. It's simple. The most important thing is
take care of yourselves, guys. Be safe.
Yeah, but just because the clubs are closed, don't go to house parties and don't go hang out with, all your friends. And
I was thinking that too. I was like, man, people are just gonna go to house parties and but that's so irresponsible too.
That's how I see it. Like literally all my Instagram stories on Snapchat. My friends are, like, quarantining together, I guess. I don't know if they're quarantining together, if they're just hopping houses, but they're still, hanging out with everybody.
Social distancing is to be, separate yourself from everybody. It doesn't
That's
mean go
what
to
you're
your friend's
supposed to do. You know, stay with your immediate family. Stay close with them. You know, like if you're going somewhere else, go somewhere safe. Don't be jumping around house to house because you're bored and blah blah blah. And like this is what's gonna cause them to shut us down and stay inside. Like, come on,
Bro, I'm mad. This coronavirus has ruined so many things. So, like, it postponed the release of Black Widow. It postponed the release of Fast 9. Yes, I still watch Fast and Furious movies. Yes, it postponed A Quiet Place 2. It postponed, like, theaters shut down. So who knows when these movies
thought they
are
were
gonna
keeping it to a limit of how many people can watch a movie. They shut out.
As far as I know, I mean, even if the movie theaters are open, I mean, none of the movies that are going to be released. They postpone them.
Please don't go out to the movies if they're open.
Concerts are postponed, which I love my concerts. You know what
That's
I'm
a
saying?
big one. Events. And, like, think about how much money people are losing.
Oh, bro. Okay, so a lot of you know, some of you don't know. I'm still a big kid and I watch WWE. I love wrestling, right? And one of the biggest things that they do every year is WrestleMania. It's like the Super Bowl when it comes to wrestling.
And what WrestleMania is coming up?
And WrestleMania 36 is next Sunday. And because of this, like, they are doing empty arenas. I know the NBA talked about doing empty arenas, and I think they just said fucking postponed everything. Mm-hmm. Same with like soccer and shit. They said, oh, we're gonna do empty stadiums and shit. And the WWE's like, no, we're gonna continue. We're gonna do empty arenas, and it is the most awkward shit to watch. Like, I'm gonna watch.
That's why the NBA postponed it.
Yeah, it is awkward to watch these grown men. Like, I mean, I guess when there's an audience there, you get like intrigued into the story. You know,
it's not even intrigued. It's like they're interacting with the crowd.
Yes, it adds to
you know,
it. Yes.
Like there's people there watching it. Like they have a purpose to do the be things talking all this shit, and you know. They're hyping the crowd up and blah blah blah, and like I haven't seen any of the isolated WWE thing going on, but I have seen like clips.
Bro, it is literally the most depressing shit.
Awkward.
It is the most depressing shit.
I saw
ever.
a clip of Stone Cold like yelling at the crowd and no one was there. Like, who was the other one that was like, yeah, and like nobody answered.
There was a match going on,
and Triple H was like, who the fuck is he talking to?
There was a match, and this wrestler's like trying to hype up the crowd, and he's like, "What the fuck?" There's no.
He's like, who? Like, the announcers, like.
So, but not just wrestling, which is like also concerts were canceled, and you see artists on their Instagram Live doing.
Shout out Sway Lee. He was the first one to
doing
do
concerts on their Instagram
he did a
Live.
concert?
That is awkward too. Don't
No.
you?
I thought that was awesome because he was like, he's the first one to do it, and now everyone is like following his wave, like trying to do it too, which I guess is cool. But he was like, you know what, like I'm gonna, and he was hyped as fuck. But Sway Lee is one of those persons that doesn't give a fuck if it's just him and the DJ in the room. Like he's still getting hyped, and he even like added a random person, and he was like, you better fucking sing along, like, and like they put on like the sound, like if people were actually like in the room, and like
it is very.
It was actually pretty
awkward.
cool.
Like it's cool, but
I clicked on a rapper's live the other day, Shorty, and he was Shorty.
I've never
he
heard
was
of him.
doing the same thing. Like he was in the studio, I guess, by himself, like having a live concert for his. And that one was a little awkward because he wasn't Sway Lee. Like Sway Lee was jumping on top of the tables, like like he even like was like, oh, motherfucker's running on stage, and it was like a stuffed teddy bear. He like started beating up the teddy bear, like he was making it entertaining, and that's different from wrestling because I mean it's music, and he's just singing along and rapping to his songs, and there's 20,000 people on his live, like it was cool, but the wrestling thing is awkward.
Well, I mean, and NBA did the right thing by canceling their season because I cannot imagine grown-ass men running from back and forth chasing a ball.
It would just look like practice.
It would look weird, yes, it would look weird. So,
you need and I mean, LeBron James said it himself, and that's probably why they shut it down after LeBron said it. He was like, I'm not fucking playing if there's not a crowd. He was like, I come to play for these crowds and to show love to these crowds. Like, I'm not gonna continue playing for if the seats are empty.
The crowd isn't...
And they postponed it, which is like a smart move. Because look, when they bring back the NBA, you know, they're basically jumping straight into the playoffs. And they gave these major athletes
time
like
rest up
4
and
weeks
practice,
to rest up. When they all come back, they're going to be tanks. They're going to be fucking tanks. Like, all of them are ready to... They've all been probably inside, like... I'm sure they've still been working out and training and blah, blah, blah. But they've been resting. So, like, when they jump back in, they're all going to be at, like, peak athletic ability. And they're going to put in some fucking work.
And I think that is where the WWE fucked up. Because they could have very easily said, all right, there's this going on. And we're going to postpone our biggest show of the year until later on.
That's why I'm surprised. Like, knowing Vince McMahon, I thought he would for sure be like, I don't give a fuck. 30,000 people in the arena, 60,000 people, pack it up. Like, I don't care about the coronavirus. But I guess he's doing empty fucking seats. Like,
yeah, I thought they would postpone it because if you think about it, when they come back, that's gonna be like the celebration. You know, their biggest show of the year. People are gonna be pumped for it. But the thing is.
So how is he making money if no seats?
I guess sponsors and shit like that. But like the thing is like even like they did not want. Like, they were the last people to postpone their show. They were like, we're going to go for it. We're going to do it. And the pretty much the city of Florida or Orlando is where it was going to be this year. They're like, we're not going to tell you can't do it, but just know you can't do it. Like, that's pretty much what it was. Like,
yeah, I saw it was like NFL and NBA and all these
events are
NHL,
canceled.
you know, they're postponing it. And it was like XFL, like, I don't give a fuck. Like, XFL, I'm guessing, is postponed now, too?
Yeah.
Did they postpone it, or are they just doing empty?
It's postponed, yeah.
Oh, okay.
But, like...
So it's just the WWE
It's just
wrestling.
the WWE that was like, we're going to do the show. And it was pretty much Florida that was like, no.
If Ric Flair dies because of this...
It would have been bad... Because
John Cena's old too now. If John Cena dies,
it would have been bad. Vince McMahon's like 70-something years old, and that dude is still going to the shows and shit.
He's probably quarantined in his own. Like, he's probably in the freaking skybox. Like, nobody's walking in this motherfucker. You know, it's just him and like 4 bad bitches, and he's like, nobody's allowed to walk in unless you're room service. Like,
well, okay, so I think what they were doing is they were like, we're not gonna cancel it. It's not happening. And then Florida or Orlando was like, it's not happening, and. Like, they were really stubborn about it. They did not want to cancel it. But even if they wouldn't have canceled it, a lot of the people that come to watch WrestleMania come from overseas. They come from all over the world. And a lot of those people, because of the travel ban, wouldn't have been able to come here. Mm. So it would have been just people from Orlando, pretty much.
I can't imagine. Why would someone from freaking Turkey want to come watch wrestling?
I mean, dude, we're not going to get into a whole, like, a wrestling thing on the podcast.
Once this is over, me and Memo are going to start talking wrestling, because I'm very concerned about these people's well-being, and why the fuck are they that... why are they that amused with wrestling? But that's a different topic.
For a different podcast. One day we'll do that.
Conspiracy podcast.
I do want to do a conspiracy episode.
I told Memo it's a conspiracy theory. I literally thought they were green screens back in the day. And I'm not lying. When I was a little kid, I thought that there was green screens and there was not that many people in the crowd.
I would prefer them do a green screen for WrestleMania than do an empty arena. I would have preferred a green screen.
They should do all TikTok. I'm serious.
Just have a bunch of, like, the thing they use on TikTok to multiply one person.
Yeah.
It's all a bunch of Vince McMahons. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, a bunch of Shanes doing that dance. You know what I mean?
All right, this podcast has gone completely off the rails.
All right, yeah. We went from, like, real serious, and as soon as Boosie came on, I feel like we just...
It tanked.
Drifted. No, I mean, it's still entertaining, but I feel like it just drifted into a whole different situation. So, I mean, it's up to you. You're the closer.
So, guys, I hope you enjoyed this quarantine special. You know, I don't want to come up here and be like, yeah, the podcast is back, because it's very, like, touch and go. Like, sometimes we want to do it, and then sometimes we don't care. I mean, I don't want to say we don't care. It's just like...
People get busy, and it's not a full-time job.
Exactly,
you know? Like, if we had a bigger following, I mean, this would
It would
be
be more of
going
a priority,
on
yeah.
all the time. But since we do it to have fun, and we do have those those people that do enjoy watching.
I have
this
a
is who
couple
we do it
people that be
for.
like, "Hey, what happened to the podcast?" I do have people ask, so it's good to know that we have those certain.
This is for them,
Yeah, I hope you enjoyed it since you can't do anything else.
right?
Now
Hey, we're stuck. I mean,
Now you're forced to listen to
we might just drop 6 fucking podcasts. We might just drop episode 21, 22, 23, 24, 26, 28 all at the same time.
and then you have no choice but to listen to
You better
all of
fucking listen to them in chronological order too, bitch.
Like I said, the Memo podcast, the quarantine edition. We might come back. Who knows? I'm not gonna promise anything. So yeah, guys, you guys stay safe, stay healthy, and we will see y'all in
Peace and love. Peace and
Adios.
love.